Hello, welcome back to this fourth installment in this series that I've been bringing you guys. And the fourth installment is on oxytocin, and the oxytocin is our fourth hormone. But before we jump right into it, a very quick disclaimer. Obvious, I'm no medical doctor, so this information that I'm bringing you guys is for educational purposes only. It's for education and just to inform you and bring you relevant knowledge. So I advise you guys to make sure you consult your medical doctor, whether it's a private doctor or whatever. Make sure that you consult a professional if you have any serious thing going on with yourself. But I hope this is will also help you get relevant information. But make sure that you always also consult a profession on these topics. So with that said, let's jump right into it. Hello, and welcome again. And as we can see here, we have our presentation ready. We're talking about the oxytocin today, which is also known as the love drug. And welcome. My name is Alfred, and welcome. And so, yeah, as per usual, we're gonna start with what this particular hormone is. It is a peptide hormone and neuropeptide normally produced in the hypothalamus and stored and released by the posterior pituitary. So it's just like any other hormone. It's produced in the brain, but I must say also other hormones are also produced elsewhere in the body. Even this, you may have other parts of the body producing, especially in your gut. You may produce these such sort of hormones. However, most hormones are produced in the brain. And then we have some of uses and benefits of oxytocin. So, okay, before I talk about these, oxytocin, since we said it's much more of a lavish drug, it also aids a lot on social bonding and stuff. So a lot of these are socially and romantic things that you're going to experience. So recognition, obviously recognizing people that you know, people that you probably are familiar with. So this also releases oxytocin. And romantic attachments, it's also known as pair bonding. You may come across a lot of people these days talking about pair bonding. So oxytocin is that hormone that actually aids in pair bonding between two romantic partners, right? Then you have your sexual arousal, whereby it gets you ready to be to get to basically pair bond once you're sexually aroused, and then you're ready to bond with this person who has aroused you. Trust, yes, oxytocin. Once you trust someone, then that is also released, which brings you whoever you trust even closer. Reproduction, it also helps in reproduction. I think we're going to see this later. And also better social behavior. Like I said, oxytocin is mostly about social things, social behavior, and just bonding and recognizing and all that social sort of aspect of our daily lives. Healing also, it has some healing capacities. Immune health, pain management, nervous system health, growth, development, and adaptation. So those are some of the uses that oxytocin brings once it is released into our bodies. And what are the things that triggers oxytocin? Yeah, what makes these hormones spread throughout our body? So physical contact, especially with someone that we love, obviously, like I mentioned before, because it's known as the love or the drug hormone, the love drug, the love drug hormone, basically. Sex also does this, as I explained. It helps in pair bonding between two partners. So once you have sex, you are ready to pair bond with your partner. Breastfeeding, it's also released during breastfeeding between mother and child, also during childbirth and during social bonding. And just a quick observation and research that I did when it comes to childbirth. And contrast to popular knowledge, a lot of people think that childbirth is very painful. Okay, no doubt, yes, you do have complications with childbirth, and some childbirths are very painful, but oxytocin is one of those hormones that actually regulate pain. And so you may come across some people who actually exaggerate their pains when they are talking about their child's or their children's child birth. So sometimes take things into just with a grain of salt when someone is telling you all this, that it's the most painful thing. Childbirth is the most painful thing. You see, our body biologically has a lot of things that support or counters a lot of things. Like I said, oxytocin actually, once it's spread during childbirth, it mitigates that pain. So if someone tells you that getting or just having a child or bearing a child is more painful than getting kicked in the nuts, then you just tell them they're lying. And imbalances of oxytocin may cause, so once we have imbalances of these hormones, we'll have episodes of depression. So now you see why these hormones should be balanced in our bodies. We'll have insomnia. Insomnia is basically lack of sleep, or your sleeping patterns are usually interrupted. And avoiding people. There's some people who avoid others for no reason. And then mood swings. Mood swings also can be brought about by lack of or imbalance of these hormones, digestive issues, and stress. And some symptoms of lack of oxytocin: we have poor social skills. Some people just have poor social skills, so they do not make their bodies adapt to the excretion of oxytocin. So once you're not socializing, maybe you'll have poor social skills, so your oxytocin levels will always be out of balance because you're not doing a lot of socializing. And it's not that you should be doing it every single day, but as we grow, we have to have a certain amount of social skills, which means that we have to be socializing. And oxytocin is one of those things that is it's released as we socialize. And then there's depression. Okay, lack of oxytocin also brings depression, anxiety, trouble relaxing, trust issues, reduced empathy, and sexual challenges. I think for men with these old sexual challenges, ED, whatever, the erectile dysfunction, right? Some people complicate a lot of things. You find that you just need to exercise, you just have to release those hormones, you just have to change your diet, right? And then you may get you may get rid of those sexual challenges. People want to take a whole lot of drugs. They want to take some dubious sort of medication that don't work, or just it's basically placebos to them, and they do a lot of complications. So if you're able to release these hormones, you find a lot of things that may take care of themselves. Now, ways to increase oxytocin. So this is how a lot of things can take care of themselves. You socialize, you get sunlight, you exercise, you listen to music, having a pet. As we said, that's why a lot of people in the West especially have pets, because if you pet your pet or just play around with your pet, it releases oxytocin, you see. Because you're basically telling your mind that you're being happy, you're being joyful with your pet and all that. Hugging. A lot of people, in fact, do not even hug. They don't know how to hug. Just hugging your beloved family, hugging your friend you haven't seen in a long time, or whatever. It also releases oxytocin because it makes you relax. You see, massage. You can go to a massage parlor. That also brings out a lot of oxytocin. Enjoying nature, walking in nature, going to the beach, going hiking, and all that. Yoga and meditation also is very good at doing this. So you find that they're just simple things. All these are just simple things that anyone can do anytime. You don't have to pretend that you're busy for any of these things, and then you get all that anxiety and depression for no reason. And that was all that I had for you today, and that this was the final of the full presentation. I hope you guys got something out of this, and you've got educated on this. And thank you for listening and watching. And until next time, peace. Thanks.